thank you for clicking on this video and tuning into Business Elite Africa. Today we have for you another episode on our Richest People in Africa series. I'm your host, Beatrice Inin. Right after this, we'll spotlight the billionaire we have on our radar today. We're going to dive into the elements that make him stand out in his field. So do stick around for that. Today we'll be talking about African billionaire Nicholas Oppenheimer. I'm going to start by pointing out Nicholas's impeccable net worth of $8.7 billion, all of which came as a result of a strategic business decision that scaled his family business. As he rose to wealth, we find that the balance between logic and emotion was the fuel that led him to become a multi-billionaire here in Africa. Other factors also gave him the confidence and determination he needed to become a successful billionaire. One of these factors is his acknowledgement of the fact that one does not have to leave the shores of Africa to become a billionaire. Nicholas fully acknowledged that fact and believes that the African continent can thrive without investment or loans from the Western world. In 2005, while disclosing the details of a sale he made of 40% of his family's stake in a company called De Beers, he said, and I quote, "Because I'm an African, I reserve the right to say that Africa does not simply exist to make people in the UK or anywhere else in the developed world feel good about themselves. I'm a great believer that if you know how to operate in Africa, there are unbelievable opportunities." End of quote. Another thing that makes Nicholas Oppenheimer stand out is his humility and honesty. He's a strong postulator of not faking it till you make it, as he believes that the fake it till you make it mentality will only get you so far. Nicholas always stays true to his business life, recognizing the thin line between building a business and a sham. Right now is a good time to click on that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Thank you. Nicholas Oppenheimer has an impeccable logical thinking capacity, which was evident when he made a sale of his family's stake in De Beers. This was a decision that meant he would have to let go of over 100 years of history from the time his grandfather started the business. Ideally, for this reason alone, Nicholas could have put emotions before logic, but he didn't allow his emotions toward the situation deter him from making a logical decision in the end. Upon announcing the news, he said, and I open quote, "Obviously, very emotional for all of us in the family when we debated whether this was the right thing to do or not. You know, it's 100 years of history, 1902, when my grandfather came out here first to join the diamond business in Kimberley. So indeed very emotional, but at the end of the day, we in the family decided this was indeed the right thing to do, and it was a unanimous decision. And in a sense, you've got to move on, and now's the time to look to the future and think what exciting things we can do in Africa in the future." Wow, it's interesting how his decision also considered the African factor. Amazing. Another element that gave Nicholas Oppenheimer an edge on his journey to becoming a billionaire and sustaining his billionaire status is the power of recovery. At the time Nicholas Oppenheimer sold his stake in De Beers, there was a fall in demand for luxury goods as a result of the recession. This dip played a major role in the sale of Oppenheimer family's De Beers stake. However, after the sale was made, their revenue experienced a major surge, spiking at 53%, nearly a whopping $5.9 billion in 2010 from a dip in 2009. Now that's very impressive. Investing more is something you can tell is Nicholas's hobby, as opposed to saving less. Even at 76 years old, Nicholas Oppenheimer continues to scout the most lucrative investments for the future. He's not big on throwing the money from the sale of De Beers into a bank account, but rather he's on the lookout for the best investment he can make here in Africa and around the world. He said, and I quote, "We're going to be obviously looking at investment. That's a compensation for the sadness and the emotional feeling we have about De Beers. We will be looking also for opportunities, and we are very African orientated, and we are going to be looking obviously around the world. But there will be a very clear African bias to what we hope to do in the future." End of quote. And that brings us to the end of the show today. Thank you for sticking it out with us. We hope you learned a thing or two. Do follow us on our social media platforms. On Instagram, we are at @BEliteAfrica. Our Twitter handle is @EliteAfrica, and on Facebook, you can find us at Business Elite Africa. You can also visit our website at www.businesseliteafrica.com for more insightful content. My name is Inin Beatrice, and I'll catch you on the next one.